Hello everyone, my name is Olivia, and today I want to recommend you some books that you should read during springtime. For me, when I think of spring, I think of contemporary novels. Contemporary novels are usually lighthearted and airy, and it just reminds me of springtime because it's so full of happiness and good times, and that's what I always associate with spring. So I wanted to recommend you a couple of contemporary novels to read during this season to brighten your days and put a smile on your face. And this video is being sponsored by Skillshare. I am such a big fan of Skillshare, which is an online learning community full of courses on so many topics like film, photography, creative writing, productivity, and so much more for those looking to develop some skills or try a completely new hobby. One hobby that I'm getting into is sewing my own clothing, and Skillshare has a class called Making Your Own Clothing: Introduction to Garment Construction to learn how to construct garments from patterns, cut out the fabric properly, and finish off seams. As someone who is teaching myself how to make my own clothing, this class is a great guide for beginners looking to learn completely new skills in a handful of lessons that are easy to follow. If you are interested in joining Skillshare to try out new hobbies like me, the first 1,000 of you to click the link in my description will get a free trial of Skillshare Premium membership. New classes are always being added to their site, and there's always something new to learn. So if you want to continue your membership after your free trial, it will be less than $10 a month. Thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring my video, and let's get into the book recommendations. So the first book that I want to recommend you is a book that was actually one of my favorite books, I think in 2020, and it is Anna K by Lyla Lee. This is a YA retelling of Anna Karenina following a biracial Korean-American girl named Anna K. Anna K lives a seemingly perfect life with a perfect yet boring boyfriend, and she is enjoying her teenage years living in New York City in a very wealthy neighborhood when she meets Alexei Vronsky, and her life is changed. Alexei is the local bad boy who is spicing up Anna K's life, and they have this undeniable chemistry that pulls them together, and Anna K starts to wonder if she should still be with her boyfriend when she feels so strongly for Alexei Vronsky. While we are following Anna K and her mixed feelings for these two boys, we also follow her friends throughout this neighborhood as they also deal with other problems. This is just such a fun, lighthearted YA contemporary that doesn't take itself too seriously. It is just full of opulence and parties and secrets being revealed. I did not know what Anna Karenina was about, and I dived into this story and was completely hooked by it. It is just so fun, it is so drama filled, and I had such a great time following Anna K and her friends as they just enjoy life and get into a bunch of different shenanigans. Another book following a Korean American protagonist is I'll Be the One by Lyla Lee. This YA is so much fun because we follow Sky Shin as she goes on to this K-pop reality show. So Sky Shin has done this because she wants to be the next K-pop star, and her mom doesn't believe in her dreams because she is plus size, and her mom thinks that because she is plus size, she will not be successful in this industry. So we follow Sky Shin as she goes into this competition as a singer and a dancer, and she deals with the competition and the cutthroatness of this reality TV show as she is trying to make a name for herself, standing out against the crowd, and just being her truest self as she is trying to win this competition. Throughout this competition, Sky makes some new friends and meets a potential love interest, and she is just living her truest life. And I love that so much about her. She is just so confident and outspoken. So if you love K-pop, if you love reality TV shows, if you just love a lighthearted contemporary novel, this is the book for you. A YA novel that I recently read that is coming out this month that I absolutely loved was Somewhere Between Bitter and Sweet by Lake and Zaya Kemp. This is a Latin YA novel following two Mexican protagonists. We follow Penelope, who wants to open her own pasteleria next to her family's restaurant, but once a secret comes out about her life, it really breaks apart her relationship with her parents and causes a lot of friction. Penelope is thrust into adulthood because of this fight with her parents, and while she is navigating during that whole issue, she meets a new employee at her family's restaurant, and his name is Xander, and he is looking for his father who abandoned him, while he is also looking for a new job to find some stability in his life. There, he meets Penelope and they form a relationship with one another where they are both very young and they are navigating adulthood. Together, they are dealing with familial issues, first love, and sharing their love for food and how food and making meals for others can really bring a community together. I greatly enjoyed this audiobook because it does have two narrators and I just thought it was so well done and just a very sweet YA novel that talks about some very important issues. It does talk a lot about immigration, moving out of your parents' home, and dealing with mental illnesses. It is just such a well-rounded YA novel that I want everyone to read when it comes out. A series of romance novels that I want everyone to pick up is the Brown Sister series by Talia Hibbert. This is a collection of adult romances which are all companion novels, so each book follows one brown sister as they fall in love and just have the best time. This series is all over BookTube and all over Bookstagram, and I just had to recommend it in my spring recommendations video because they give me such a light and airy feeling and just fill me with so much happiness whenever I read them. They just have the most wholesome romances that I just want every single person to read, and I just love every single couple in Talia Hibbert's books, so I had to recommend them here, even though everyone and their mother talks about Talia Hibbert's novels. I just had to give you my own 2 cents because I think these books are amazing. And if you are wondering which ones are my favorites, Take a Hint, Dani Brown, and Act Your Age, Eve Brown are both my favorites in this trilogy of companion novels. I don't know which one is my true favorite. I think Take a Hint, Dani Brown is my favorite. It is just so sweet and follows the fake dating trope. Act Your Age, Eve Brown is a very soft enemies to friends to lovers romance. I wouldn't say that they're enemies at the beginning, but they do get off on the wrong foot, so they do have some animosity towards one another and their personalities definitely clash, but once you see them fall in love, your heart will just soar because it is just the sweetest thing ever, and I just recently finished this and have to recommend it because it is so good. And I feel like these novels will also get you out of a book slump because they are fast-paced, because they are so lighthearted, and I feel like contemporary novels always get me out of a reading slump. So if you're in a reading slump, if you're looking for something very easy to fall into, Talia Hibbert's books are the books for you. The last novel that I have to recommend is Somewhere Only We Know by Maureen Gu. Any book that she will publish, I will pick up because I have loved every single book that she has published thus far. So Somewhere Only We Know I think is my favorite book by her. This is a Korean Roman holiday retelling set in Hong Kong. So we follow Lucky, who is a K-pop star who is just so tired of this fast-paced life where she is unable to rest and just take time for herself. So one day at her hotel, she decides to sneak out and spend the night out by herself. There she meets Jack, who is a paparazzi and decides to show her around Hong Kong. So very much like Roman Holiday, they spend the day together and get into a bunch of different scenarios that leave them running away from the paparazzi because Lucky is well known everywhere and she just wants the night to herself where she is able to spend time with this new boy named Jack and they just get into a bunch of different shenanigans, and I love this story so much. You really get to see their relationship grow and develop throughout this one night, and while it may feel like insta-love, I feel like this book is so well paced, it doesn't feel like insta-love. It just feels so authentic and real, and I do feel like this one is very underrated. I just want more people to read Maureen Gu's writing because her writing is phenomenal, her characters are really fun, and her contemporaries aren't just all romance. They do have some depth and they do talk about some very important topics as well. So those are some books that I would highly recommend that you read during springtime or any time in the year if you're looking for a pick-me-up. Let me know what books you are planning to read around springtime, and let me know what other books you would recommend that I would read during springtime because I would love to get some recommendations to read during this season. If you have not followed me on Instagram, be sure to do so to see what I am currently reading because I always post about that on my stories. And if you have not subscribed to my channel already, be sure to do that as well to support me and see videos from me in the future. And thank you so much to Skillshare for sponsoring my video, and I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!